Hey, sorry about that, folks. I guess everybody's ready? Fellas, y'all ready? Okay. We're going to call the meeting to order officially at 10:32. We can now establish that we do have a quorum present. And I'm assuming our first order of business is going to be to approve the minutes from last month's meeting. Everybody's had a chance to look at that here and online. So I will entertain a motion to approve unless anybody has any changes they want to request.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second that motion?
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay. We're going to move on to the regular agenda. First, we have item DD21-18 for 17 West Beauregard Avenue. And with that, we'll turn it over to city staff. And we have a commissioner who's going to recuse himself for the moment because he's involved in some way with the project.
Good morning, Rafael Alvarado with Planning and Development Services. This is DD21 slash...
Excuse me, just one second. I'm going to explain this because I even have a commissioner with a question. We only have 5 commissioners left out of 7 minimum that we're supposed to have. So on most items, we have to have 5 people to vote. If we have a situation like this where a commissioner has to recuse themselves, then we go with 4. And that's why we can do it this way and couldn't do the other item. Sorry.
To interject here, my conversations with Brandon, this is Holly Voth. I'm filling in for Brandon today. We spoke to him about this before the meeting. He says in this instance, if there's not a quorum, this issue can't be discussed and voted on at this meeting. That's what he explained to me.
So not a scheduled meeting. And we'll try and get another meeting scheduled, see if we can get everybody a quorum here and try and get one scheduled.
Okay. So it's not the way we discussed a while ago then. We can't do it, is what you're saying?
Right, so we just have to make an announcement that we're not going to hear it and then move on from there.
Okay. And that's so I guess somebody go get Henry, or there he is. Come on up. Who's here from the public for this item DD21 on 17 West Beauregard Avenue?
And also, if we need to discuss recusal, sometimes people get confused on that. Just knowing the person involved isn't quite enough to have to recuse yourself. If it needs to be pretty substantial.
We can discuss that later.
Sure.
I apologize. Apparently, we can't hear it even with this number of people. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do about that. But can you explain to me how are we going to hear it next month if we don't have new commissioners in?
Gosh, I mean, that is an issue. You need a quorum to hear the item, and if someone's recused, you no longer have that quorum.
Is it up to the commissioners to decide if there's actually a issue with him being here?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Can we discuss
So why
it?
are you recusing yourself, Henry? What's your connection to this project?
I did the drawing.
He did the drawings for it.
Okay. Yeah, that might be a reason. I was thinking if maybe you just know the applicant, that's not enough. But actually participating in the designs and the drawings might be reason for recusal.
Well, we are putting in for tiers, and so I need a GHRC approval for that, and I believe the paperwork has to be in by the end of the month.
That has to be in by January 1st.
What's that?
The tiers.
So I heard they're somewhat lenient as far as they know that you have a meeting set and you're working on it, but still, I think they're choosing the end of January. And so, yeah, if you all don't have enough people.
I don't see why him participating in that minimalistic of a situation with this.
Because he's been paid. Because it's
Okay.
his profession, so it could be seen as a gratuity for his vote.
I was unaware of that. Okay.
What do we have to have new commissioners? Can we not just make Dell a commissioner?
I know we've been struggling to get applications. It's been an ongoing issue since I've started getting.
Yeah, it has.
Scheduling a special called meeting, if getting everybody together to see if we can get a quorum heard at that point. But we'll work with you to expedite as fast as possible and work with the TERS and get with them as well and try and expedite as fast, but we'll be in touch.
Let me do this so there's not any other delay. I don't know if this follows the procedure or not. Do any of the commissioners that are present have any questions or issues with this item that they'd like to address while we have her here? Anything that might prevent them from voting
Can we
for
not
it?
even see the presentation on it? Can we
Or
not?
we can't-
Because it wasn't even on the when I pulled it up on the website, nothing came up. When I tried to.
Hard copies I can pass.
Or you're saying we can't even do that?
I mean, that's the way it was explained to me, and that's my understanding of it. I can even, we can call Brandon and
Yeah, let's
check,
let's
yeah.
call Brandon and ask him if how we're going to have a solution if we don't have a new commissioner by the end of the year. And they need to
Problem
know
with that is
this.
the new commissioner has to be approved by city council.
Yep.
So that ain't gonna happen until
Yeah.
next.
Okay,
There's
so
no
we
way.
don't have a way for that to
Yeah,
happen.
there's no way that it's gonna happen that
That's
fast.
my, can we request a concession on this meeting? Good.
Not yet, Michelle. Hold on just a second. Now, should we go ahead and move to the next item while she discusses this with Brandon? Okay. I am going to change the order in the agenda while we discuss with city legal and figure out how to fix that. So let's move on to CA 21-06, 113 East Concho Avenue, and we'll turn that over to city staff.
Submit certain things.
Good morning, Rafael Alvarado with Planning and Development Services. This is CA 21-06, 113 East Concho Avenue. The property measures 0.80 acres. It is District 3, Harry Thomas in the downtown neighborhood. And on the left is a satellite image of the location. These are the future land use and zoning maps. On the left is the future land use in the downtown future land use, and it is located in the central business district. On the left is the proposed sign, and the right is illustrating the dimensions of the future sign. The location will remain the same. This is a refurbishment of the sign. I believe the sign is not attached to the historical designation of the property. And these are the pictures of the site. Now, a construction of a new sign in the downtown historic district for properties designated historically requires a certificate of appropriateness, and staff conducted an analysis of which the sign is not a historic part of the property, and refurbishment of the sign will enhance the overall function of the site. Staff's recommendation is to approve the certificate of appropriateness for the property at 113 East Concho for the refurbishment of an existing sign with two conditions of approval. The first being that colors, dimensions, and materials and design of the freestanding sign shall be consistent with the renderings approved by the Design and Historic Commission. Minor deviations may be approved by the Planning and Development Services Director. The second condition is that the applicant shall obtain building permits from the Building Permits and Inspection Division as required. Are there any questions for staff?
I assume the sign meets all the sign requirements as far as size and height and all that's.
That is correct.
I don't have any questions.
Okay, if there's no further questions for staff, we'll ask for public comment at this time if there is any.
I believe the applicants are here.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for the applicants themselves? Okay, if there's no further discussion, then I will call for a motion.
Make a motion to approve as stated by staff.
Second.
You can write down either one of them as a second. Okay, so all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you for your patience, for participating in the process this morning. Keep that in mind, though. We need some members. So doesn't it look like fun? Thank you very much. We appreciate it. What have we found out?
Well, essentially, you are correct. You could do a special meeting, but with Christmas, I don't know how feasible that is. The other thing is, we believe there's some sort of bylaw where, in order to recuse yourself, like 10% of your gross income would have had to come from this business. And I don't know if the drawings, being paid for those would be 10% of your entire gross income for the year, if that makes sense.
Would your fee for the drawings involved in this issue, would they equate to 10% of your total earnings for the year?
Year.
For the year? No, not even close.
No.
So, city legal's advice is that he doesn't have to recuse himself?
That's our understanding. Brandon sent me an email with kind of all the entire thing. I can review it again, but that's our understanding, is that in order for recusal, that's kind of the standard. But if you still feel uncomfortable for some reason, we can address that as well.
Okay, what she's saying is that according to the city attorney's office, your total income from this would have to exceed 10% to require you to recuse yourself. If you still feel uncomfortable about it, you may recuse yourself anytime you want to, but if you don't, we can go forward.
He should also be able to just abstain from the vote.
Can you repeat the question? I didn't.
He should be able to abstain from the vote and not vote on it himself.
Yeah, he would need to vote on it as well.
Because we have to all
So
vote
if he
to
doesn't
have
feel that it's a
quorum.
conflict of interest,
He said he doesn't.
then I believe we can move forward from my understanding. I'm talking with Brandon.
That's my understanding. We don't have y'all's bylaws, but if y'all can send that to us, we could even do a further review of those.
The way Brandon explained it to me in layman's terms was you can lay out the scenarios, and if the commissioner feels that it's still a conflict, he can abstain, but as long as we lay it out there and say, but the bylaws are.
That makes sense. I mean, in a town this size,
Right.
who's not going to be connected in some way to something? Just to be on the safe side.
I've had to recuse myself on several projects, but there was always enough people.
Right.
So this is
And
kind
then that would
of unusual.
Yeah. But that's okay, because Michelle Babish is going to be a new commissioner. I can just feel it. Do what? Aw.
Usually these meetings are done in 20 minutes. They're fast.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I read it. I was like, oh, yeah, we'll just be right in and out.
So at this point, it's just up to him?
I think she's reviewing, I'll say this on the record, she's reviewing the bylaws to make sure that there's nothing in our specific bylaws that conflict with what the law is or what have you. Commissioner Schmidt has already said he doesn't feel like it's a conflict and he'll remain with us, assuming that they feel that's okay, and then we can just get this handled.
Reading as fast as I can. So what I'm reading here is the income in the previous year needs to be more than $2,500. I don't know if you're comfortable discussing that here, but
His income, his total income for the past year needs to be more than what?
$2,500 from this business. Yeah.
They didn't.
And from what I can tell, you don't have to recuse yourself. Like I said, if you feel uncomfortable, that's another issue, but I
He's
think
already said he didn't feel uncomfortable, so.
I think
Okay.
we're safe to move forward.
Okay, good. Hopefully that whole all's well that ends well thing kicks in. Okay, DD 21-1817 West Beauregard, and we'll turn it over to staff.
This is DD 21-1817 West Beauregard, measuring 0.21 acres, District 3, Harry Thomas in the downtown neighborhood. It is in the downtown future land use in the central business district. These are renderings of the proposed facade renovations. I should note, you could see on the top view, the building marked 17 is the one in question. So improvements done to the left of that are not under consideration, including that second tree that you see there. We're only discussing the building on the right. There, yeah, that's right. Thank you. And these are images of the site. The left is the site, and then the right is viewing away from the site. Views along Beauregard Avenue. Staff conducted an analysis in conjunction with the River Corridor Master Development Plan, and we found that the renovations to the property will enhance the appearance of this shop and improve the area. Staff is supportive of the proposed plans, and it was on December 7th that City Council approved the removal of the large tree right here and approved its replacement with a tree of similar likeness to here. Staff finds no issue with the architectural detail, the building colors, materials, the roof, or the lighting of the proposed plans. Staff recommends approval of DD 21/18, a request for an exterior remodel located at 17 West Beauregard, subject to 3 conditions of approval. The first is that the final tree plans shall be sent to the director, planning director, and director of operations for approval. It has already been approved by City Council. We're just requesting that the plans be sent to the planning director and the director of operations. The second condition is that the colors, dimensions, and materials of all improvements shall be consistent with renderings approved by the Design and Historic Commission. Minor deviations may be approved by the planning director. The third condition is the applicant shall obtain all required permits from the Building Permits and Inspections Division. Could we have lights, please? All right, thank you, Brian. Are there any questions for staff?
Can we see the rendering again? I mean, what exactly are they doing? I mean,
That's right. So it involves replacing the sidewalk, the windows, the entrance tile, replacing the large tree that has already been approved by City Council,
okay.
and The canopy structure is not meant to protrude. That is also part of the proposed facade
It's
renovation.
gonna be a canvas awning that,
I believe so.
okay, do we have any colors, any samples, what's there to look at? We have no colors to look at, there's nothing on the, generally, we'll have samples that we can look at to approve. If they put in a new front door, is the glass gonna be replaced? Is the framing on the glass gonna be replaced?
This was the full extent of the plans that we received.
Not a lot of information to vote on.
Okay, and I have a question as well. So when you say that about the planning department approving the tree, are you saying that you'll approve the specific tree itself, or what type of tree? And have you got a list of trees that are acceptable, and has the applicant been given that list? I mean, it just...
The full specifications of the tree have been approved by City Council. The condition of approval is just to submit the plans to the director.
Okay.
I saw the city council meeting on that. They did approve that
Why is the tree being replaced?
because it's tearing up the sidewalk. It's way too big. That planter's all busted out. They're gonna redo that. So, I don't know.
see
We just
the
need, I
tree
just need
here.
more information. Is the sidewalk gonna be replaced like for like, or what's going on? I can't tell.
The applicant is
The
here.
applicant needs to.
So I don't have samples of the awning.
You do need to give your name into the microphone for the record, please. Sorry.
Michelle Babish. The awning is a little bit of an issue because it's really hard to find an awning company. So we've been in touch with a couple, but we do not have samples. They're just so far behind, and that's been problematic. But we want it to be canvas, look like this. It's really for aesthetics. It's not, it's not going to protrude out to be shade or anything.
So black and white stripe. Is that
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly what you see right there. The sidewalk, we are going to mimic what they're doing on Chadburn. So we just kind of want it to be a continuation, kind of to complement what's happening on Chadburn. Same with the tree. It's the same tree.
Same color? You're gonna do the same color they did?
Yes.
The
Yes.
cobblestone or whatever they did? Okay.
And we have all those specs and everything from them to give to our contractor to be able to do that. And then the tree was okayed by City Council. We know what kind of tree, we know specs, sizes, all of that stuff, and we can get that locally, so.
Is it gonna have a border around the tree, brick border, or does it
It
just
will
go into
be-
the sidewalk?
So,
or what?
yes, and like in Chadburn, it goes into the sidewalk, but it does have like a little bit of a border on it. So again, we'll just mirror what is happening on Chadburn.
And you've got a wainscot, looks like you're doing on the bottom, is that out of wood?
That's
What
going to
is
be
all that?
wood. So all of that in exterior will, the windows and all of that, it's just, they're old. They're just old. So all that will be taken
Worn
out
out.
and replaced. And then, yes, that will be wood. Centurion, the building on the right, has been redone, and it's like that. It's got the wood and the little outline or whatnot. And so again, we just kind of want it to make it look more cohesive down on Beauregard as a whole.
Okay, then you're gonna replace all the glass?
Yes.
Is it gonna be tinted glass, bronze glass? What are the framing gonna be on the glass?
So it's just a metal framing on the glass, and then
Is it bronze, mill finish?
It
What-
will have some kind of tint just because of, obviously sun and temperature wise too. So it is like slightly tinted, and that's what they put on there again, just so the sun's
Okay,
not
but
beating
what about
directly
the
in.
framing on the glass? Is it, what's it gonna be? Bronze, mill finish? What is it gonna be?
I don't know. Do you know, like, what color it's gonna be? Oh, it is gonna be black. It is gonna be black, sorry. Yes,
Black frame?
yes. But it's gonna be thin. I mean, it's mainly gonna be windows,
Metal.
so you can actually
be
see
metal
in
frame,
and.
okay.
Metal,
and-
black metal.
And
Yes.
then are you putting in a new door? Is that
Yes, the door will be a brand-new door.
just like that configuration?
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna be that color?
Yes, it will be red.
Okay, see, generally on these deals, I don't know what staff do, we have to have color presentations where we actually see the color that you're doing and the framing and the glass and everything, because when we vote on these, we have to have that as a guideline to go with, and when we're looking at that, I can't tell if that's gray, black, what it is. So you could come in and we could have a totally different scenario once this is voted on. I'm not trying to be difficult about it, but there's just
No,
not
I
enough.
was not asked for that information, and we did this for the firehouse, and I don't remember bringing all, I could be
Yeah.
wrong.
No, I
Maybe,
was
did we
on
do
that
all
board.
that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we have to have all of that.
Yes, I wasn't asked for that, so I don't have any of
I'm
that, but,
questioning staff, so something got dropped here. There ain't enough information here. Well, like the tile, what size of tile is that? What color is it? We don't have any of that to vote on. I don't know what the other commissioners
Yeah,
feel
no,
about, but
yeah,
I mean,
we really don't have
that's
any
generally
specs.
how it works, and there's just not enough information here.
Well, and I think we have new staff members that are learning this, but yet there's details that are not in the, and the ironic thing is, looking at the drawings, I'm sure that the details were available, I just don't think we've asked them for them.
Rendering's great.
Well,
I
but
mean, I love the way it looks.
that's part of the whole
not the
deal. We don't,
problem.
I
It's
mean, that's
beautiful.
just been that way forever. That's part of staff.
Yep. So do you
That's
have a
just-
question about the tiles in front of the doors, about the size and what time?
Well, I'd just like to see the color. I want to see, I mean, there's a million different textures, colors of black. I mean, right, Lisa? I mean, it could be anything.
Mind-blowing amount of whites and
Yeah,
blacks.
I mean, this is hard for me to vote on
But
personally.
doesn't she have to choose within the city's palette choices for historical colors? Isn't there already a frame,
Exactly, yeah. There's a certain
Yeah.
colors that we have. that the
framework that she
design-
can choose from?
Yeah, so we don't know
Do you
that
know
color,
that?
that orange, is
no,
that
where,
red,
where do I
orange?
get that information at to even, because I mean, that would have been easy.
Staff
Show me what I
should
have
have
to
that.
choose from, and
Yeah,
I'll
there's
pick
like a,
one.
I don't know what they are, but there's a list of historical colors that's already been approved from the city for the downtown
Staff
area.
should have shown
And
you
you're
those
given
colors.
those, and
Yeah.
I think you choose, is that correct? You choose from those? Don't you guys give the applicants a list of paint colors to choose from? There's already a
Yes,
framework?
we can get that. There's a national historic list
Yeah.
available. We can send you that in an email.
Well, they should be given that as soon as this process begins, so
Yeah,
that
that's
they don't
right.
go down the road of having drawings done with the wrong color because they don't know the color palette exists.
Right.
We definitely have some work to do here.
Even with the awning, I mean, we usually see a tag, it has to be fire rated, it has to be 9 feet above the pavement.
Probably in the
There's just
specs.
no,
Yeah, that's in the spec. So I do
Not
have
a lot
some
of
on the windows and
information
stuff,
here.
but it sounds like I need a lot more.
Well, I mean, I would not lean towards not voting on it when we can require staff to double-check those things in their,
Yeah.
Well, and I will,
because I don't want to penalize the applicant.
no, I agree, but I mean, if I'm gonna be on this board and I'm gonna vote on something, I'm surely wanna know what I'm voting on, because colors change, anything can change, and if we don't have the exact deal, and then they come back later and then it is purple, we voted on it.
Is there a way to
You voted
submit-
on that picture.
submit the details that are lacking by an email, and we can all vote, or, so we can vote to some degree on this today, and then finalize it through an email of colors that are,
There's,
the rest
yeah,
of
I mean,
the
there's
things-
stipulations on the motions that we approve or disapprove, and it could be a stipulation that we
Yeah.
see the samples or
And we're
whatever.
allowing staff to make that decision, not us. If we don't vote on it, hear what we're
Right.
doing, are they gonna bring all that back to us and we're gonna vote on it again? If they're gonna do that, they might as well just wait and bring it back like it should have been.
Well, no, because she needs to have the approval to do her tiers application before the end of the year.
Can we vote to where she can do that, and then have a second meeting where you have more?
Where we'll rescind it if the materials
And I'm
don't
not trying
match.
to be difficult, I'm just,
I understand where you're coming from.
yeah. But, yeah, I agree. I mean,
Yes, you
I don't know how that would be put into what we can do here. If we can preliminary vote on it, yes, we're good with it, so she can go get tiers money.
Condition the
and-
approval that we bring forward at the next public available meeting, the scheduled meeting that y'all have, that the conditions, based on the materials she's provided, that y'all wanted to see have been met, and we can move forward from there.
Yeah, because I think it looks great. The present, you've got a great building. I
Yeah.
love everything
You're not
about
planning
it.
on
It's
having this
just-
done by the end of the year,
We've
right?
got to be careful just
Right.
Yeah,
slinging
with
this
technical
stuff out
issues.
here.
We
So,
have to be consistent. I mean, I know it's gonna be a good color. I don't have any worries about it looking at it.
Yeah, I don't either.
But for the
Yeah.
next applicant, it could get, we have to be consistent.
You're not planning on having this done by the end of the year?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
No, no.
So, yeah, we'll have time to actually look it over before then. So I
Yeah,
agree.
because
I
we
think-
wouldn't be
I think
denying
you
the
should be able to
motion
vote on
anyway.
it.
We would be
I agree.
requesting her
Like I
to
said,
change the
I'm just-
color or
This just needs
material.
to be all on record of what we're doing. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying. I don't want us to get into
Yeah.
a situation where somebody comes in and goes, well, you just approve a picture and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This has got to be in a professional
Yeah.
So
manner.
it would be
It's got to be
approval
consistent.
subject
45 minutes,
to
just have
Yeah, it's gotta be
quorum based
consistent.
on
review of the specifics of
bylaws.
the materials and colors.
Yes.
We need to be
Yeah,
consistent on everything.
I don't have a problem with that. If that works for staff and if that
So-
works with the procedure, proper procedure, I
It
don't
should
have a
just-
problem.
Yeah, and with
Voting on
staff,
the condition.
staff turnover, I do apologize. We will ask for more information next time. It's just a matter of knowledge for us as well. So I do apologize for any delay, but we'll do better next time, and we'll try and expedite this as fast as possible, depending on how you'll vote.
Okay, Commissioner James, did you have another question for the
I-
applicant or
I-
staff?
I just think that we can vote on this conditionally
Sure.
and have no problem.
Okay, so procedurally, I think you can sit for the moment unless you want to come forward for public comment. If there's any public comment, this is the time for that. If there's not any, then this would be when we'd have further discussion with the commissioners.
I would make a motion to approve upon condition that she reapply with the colors and materials before it is actually completed.
Well, and maybe not reapply so much as
Right.
she brings us the samples so that we can review the specifics and the colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be nothing else for her to fill out. If she can just provide us that information, we can then, prepare whatever we need to bring forward to y'all to show those to y'all.
So however y'all need to word that in the motion.
Yeah, just.
So we have a
conditional
motion for
upon-
that. I'll second it. Assuming that you guys get the legalese written into the motion, I don't know how to state it perfectly, but
Based on condition of approval of materials at the next regularly scheduled meeting, or I guess vague enough?
That works for me.
okay. So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, moving on. Thank you.
One more thing, I know samples are hard to get a hold of, like the awning, and so if you could, bring a internet photo, of what you're gonna choose with the number, it'd be okay.
Thank you for
Yeah.
participating in the process.
Thank you, Ms. Savage.
Okay, so we would move on to division report if there is one.
So just briefly, the Historic Resources Survey study has wrapped up. We will be presenting that to y'all at y'all's next scheduled meeting for y'all's input, and then it'll move forward through the process of PC and then City Council, hopefully getting that approved. Other than that, nothing else to add.
Okay. So I'm going to interject here. I don't know exactly where this would go in procedure, but yeah, these things that we discussed today, we're going to have to do better than that going forward because everybody else that's come in front of us has had to go through those hoops. They've had to show us that they're using the right material, that they're using the right kind of glass. I mean, this has been a very detailed thing. And I personally, I can't live with having made somebody else do something and then going
Yeah.
forward, we just don't do it anymore. We're just not going to be able to do it that way. And this whole making somebody come back twice to bring us the materials, fortunately, we have an applicant that was patient with that, and we were able to work with them and work with the commissioners. Your commissioners didn't have to have her best interest in heart the way they did because, if you want to be sticky about it, we probably should have made her come back, which would have penalized her, and that's not fair. All that said, I understand that you're brand new, so it's not, I just want that on the record that that's what we have to do. Do you understand what we were missing?
I agree. I certainly agree, and we'll do better.
Yeah, I've been on this board 6 years, and I've never seen it like that. I mean, we have to have every piece of material where we can physically see it. I mean, they need to bring a piece of the metal they're gonna put on the frame, piece of the glass. I mean, that's how detailed it needs to be.
Okay.
because there's a million different colors you can do out there.
Gotcha.
And
And if they come
It's
back to
always
you and
been
say,
that
I
way.
can't get a sample of it,
they can get a sample.
and if
They're
they
just gonna have
can't,
to find
you have
one.
a picture, they do bring us pictures
Yeah, a
quite a bit.
picture, that's fine, but I mean, I
Yes.
can't vote on that, something like that. I mean,
Okay. Any other announcements? Anything else any of the commissioners need to talk about? If not, then I will make a,
motion to adjourn.
I second. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all for your patience.